Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good
Good morning.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Hello,
I'm
Danielle.
going to keep the camera off, you guys. I'm sick. My sinuses are busted, and so am I. So I'm just going to be listening in.
Hi, Tammy. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well.
Thank you. The pollen count is killing us over this on the East Coast.
I feel that. I feel that. Welcome, Carla. Hello, ladies. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Tatiana, Deborah, Adriana. Ooh, here we go. Mary's here and Julie's here. I'm in Arizona. And I have to say, Arizona is almost like Hawaii if you're in the right spot. We came out to visit my dad for Easter with my nephew and my sister, and our flight got delayed. So we were stuck in the airport, and my sister had this brilliant idea of staying and going to a hotel and going to a water slide hotel. So that's where my nephew is right now. He's sliding down the water slide. And I'm here with you ladies, which I have to say is a real big treat, because if you're here, you are finishing strong. And there's a really interesting strategy we're going to share with you today called a profit pyramid that we're going to dive into as soon as we get everyone hooked up. So first of all, just make sure that you're muted if you're not muted already, because I can hear some background noise. And I'm going to make Shannon my co-host as soon as I can find her name here. Good morning, Shannon.
Hi, everyone. Happy day. I'm so excited to see you all here.
Good morning, Ulrich. Good morning. Good morning. So I was just remembering when I started my business and I was living in LA. And when I was living in LA, I was doing 3 different jobs because I was a freelance artist. So I was designing sets for music videos. I was a photographer for up-and-coming artists, and I was also a flower designer for soap operas. So I'd get up at 4 in the morning and go to the flower market and make these huge flower designs, because on soap operas, people are either dying or they're getting married, and then it happens like all the time, right? So we had these huge sprays that we'd make for the funerals, and then we'd have these huge sprays we'd make for weddings, and by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be done with that job. I'd go home and I'd take a nap, and then I would do one of my other jobs. So I'd either have a photo shoot with an artist, or I'd jump on a music video, and sometimes I would go way into the wee hours of the morning. And for me, that really worked because I was crazy creative, and I was in LA and I didn't want a full-time job. So I was doing these 3 different things. In my mind, they were all one thing, but they were really 3 things. And if I'd seen a profit pyramid at that time, it would have really changed the way I do business, because as I've grown my business, as I've continued to work for Women Rocking Business and launch my own group program, what I've done is I've continued to sort of like treat my business like a bunch of different projects, still letting my creativity go in different avenues. And I haven't really consolidated them into one like vision for my business. It wasn't until I started with ELA that I started to realize that if I could consolidate my vision around my business towards a particular goal, then I wouldn't feel so scattered all the time. And it's taken me a couple years to actually wrap my mind around that. Many of you ladies who are here today are way beyond where I was when I was in ELA. So what we want to share with you today is the idea that this profit pyramid is a design for you to, it's not a marketing tool and it's not a scheduling tool. A profit pyramid is a way for you to vision how your programs stack on top of each other so you can know what are the things that you offer. And it's, of course, any strategy is going to evolve and change as you go along, right? As you decide how much you want to charge, who your ideal client is. So I just want to say from the very beginning, ladies, let's all take a big breath. That if you're here today on this call, you've already succeeded. Really. You have gone through a year's worth of business training. And some of the things that you have done have been wildly successful, and some of the other things you have done have been really wildly good learning experiences. And whatever you have done this year, you have succeeded already. And what it poises you to do, if you're here on this call, is to begin to look at what you've learned about what you've done and what you want to do next. Because even though it's sad that ELA is coming to an end, and for many reasons, we want to keep you in this nice little nest. Your business is going to keep on growing after today, after this month, and after this year. We want to get you poised for that so that you have an idea where you're going. So it doesn't continue to feel like your second year, so your second year of business doesn't feel like your first. You know, with this like, where am I going? What am I doing? You have all the tools and templates that you've been learning all year long that you could punch into this profit pyramid. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And of course, before we dive into that, we want to take some brags. Because like I said, if you're here, you're already succeeding. And many of you decided to do something last month that had to do with internet marketing, digital relationship. We challenged you last year to do something. And you ladies were amazing. You posted really thick, like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I'm just curious, and I'd love to hear some brags from any of you who took a leap towards building your Facebook page. You posted a video, Adriana. You did something, right? You reached out and let us know what you did and what you learned from it. Because most of business is really like a giant art project. I mean, most of life is like an art project. You try something, it doesn't work, you try it again. You try and get it on an airplane. If you can't, you end up at a hotel with the water slide. You know, like stuff happens. I'm learning so much about being flexible by being with my family and with a 7-year-old. Like it is just like a totally different world between being a single entrepreneur. I'm learning a lot. So I'd love to see some of you put up your hand and brag about what you did between now and our last training session. Danielle, thank you for being so courageous.
Well, I did a lot, but for the internet part, I actually did a group Facebook page, and
oh, wow.
I invited several ELA ladies, and if I miss anybody, please reach out, and I would love to have you on there. And then I invited some other people that I know, and it's just been really taking off. And what I learned from it is that people really are wanting to hear from me, and that people are really looking for that connection that we're really talking about here. You know, everybody's really wanting connection right now.
Everybody's really wanting connection.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm just curious, what did you put on the landing page that was there to greet everyone that you invited in?
I did a video.
She says as she holds her breath.
Yeah, I did a video, which
was that edgy?
It's super edgy, as visibility has been my thing all year. And so, yeah, I did a video, and I think I did a video on my fan page as well. And then I also did a video because I did a workshop back home in Montana last week. So I also did a video for that, and I put it on my personal page inviting people to my workshop. So I did a lot of videos to put myself out there.
Gorgeous. Did it get easier, like Sage said, as you went along?
Yes, but now I haven't done it for a few weeks, and now I'm kind of back in like hesitation. So that's something I will be pushing through again. But I had a great workshop because of it. People were able to see me, and they wanted to come. So it does work.
Congratulations. Big kiss for you.
Thank you.
Mwah. I noticed that when Sage does a string of videos, right, she gets really loose. And then if she pauses for a little while, the hesitation comes back up. So ladies, I just want to say it's the same too with signature talks. It's even the same with performing. I did 4 sold out shows last week, and then I had a break that I was so looking forward to. And I've been hanging out with my family, and now I'm like, oh my God, I have 2 more shows, and I can feel it in my belly again. I'm like, I don't really want to get vulnerable again, right? I don't want to. I have the I don't wannas. And so just know that that's natural, totally natural. Danielle, get yourself accountable with one of your buddies. I know you have an awesome mastermind group that meets in the morning. Just reach out to them and make sure that they're holding you accountable now that you know you can do it. Yeah, she's like, oh, accountability.
I also want to chime in, Serena, and add that it's the same with our discovery sessions. When we're generating leads and having those calls, we can get, higher conversion when we're talking to people repeatedly. That's the benefit of stacking your discovery sessions up in a really strategized way, like taking 3 calls a day for a week, versus just these one-offs, because it's like, into the call. But when you get that roll going, we're going to start converting a lot higher that way. And when we're in open doors period like we are now, our whole sales team meets twice a week, just so we can support each other and love each other up and clear what comes up on the calls and talk about new strategies or things, give each other tips and just be there for each other. So you can do that on all levels.
You're so right. You're absolutely right. Confidence comes with experience, ladies. When we're not in an experience, our mind has all these ways of creating fear and doubt. It's just in our head. As soon as we get into experience, we start to get the confidence of, oh, I can handle that. Oh, I can do that. I can stretch with that. So action is alchemy. Experience is experience. Confidence is experience. And experience is also experience. Don't be confused about that. Who else has an aha or something they want to brag about? Some risk they took in the digital world between this call and last call. Adriana, can I call on you? Awesome. Because you also jumped on the bandwagon and created one video or more.
I did another one after the one that I posted on the Facebook page.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was so hard. That first video, I watched myself like, I don't know how many times before I decided to post it. So, but I realized is that it gave me a lot of confidence. I just felt like it was so aligned with myself, like being able to being in front of the camera and speaking what I really want to speak about gave me a boost. Like after I did the video, I was talking to somebody else and telling him about my business, and I felt there was a difference in me just because I was in front of the camera. That was an aha for me. Like, yeah, that's a sign that I need to keep doing this. Even though it's edgy and it's not the easiest thing for me, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Even if I love myself in being imperfect, because we are so critical of ourselves, and that's what stops us. And at the same time, just like, okay, I accept I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm just gonna do it anyways. That's my mantra right now.
So good. Your voice was so soothing. That coupled with your accent when you were doing the meditation was so fascinating for my ears, especially because I'm just crazy about voices from my background. I was just listening and listening. It was really beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, big kiss for you. I love it what you said too, is we're more critical of ourselves than other people are. And I have that experience too. When I was on stage for my show, I was feeling really confident or mostly confident. And I had this experience of being on stage and being like, wow, I did that really well. And then 2 days later, I saw all the photos, and that's all that was in my head. It was all was my belly, my hair, the way my mouth was, like on and on. I had to stop looking at pictures. And then I sent them to my assistant, and she's like, can I post all these? You look so beautiful. And I'm like, that's just not how it looks in my eyes. And so what I'm noticing too, as I get more visible, I also have to upgrade my level of reflection, right? Have people around me I'm showing my work to, so that I can have the confidence to let it go a step farther. So my blogs and my photos, I'm showing to my assistant, and I'm also showing to another one of my mastermind buddies. So there's someone else looking besides just the one who's looking in here, because if it's only up to me, I don't release my photos. I don't release my videos. because I'm like, I was like what Adriana was saying, right? I'm looking for perfection, but no one else is looking at me that critically. So again, accountability is super huge, ladies. As you continue to get more visible, make sure there's someone around you who's whispering in your ear or shouting in your face, you're beautiful, you're amazing, keep going, because it's really true. Maria Farner, hi.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So, and when I watch everyone's videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody is so fabulous. I mean, Adriana, you look like a movie star. So,
right.
So what I wanted to mention, and I was talking with Shannon yesterday, and she asked me about, so these talks at Luma that I'm doing that are coming up. Luma has put them out on their Facebook page. So she said, well, what's your Facebook reach right now? So I go in and I said, you know, there's a couple hundred people on my Facebook page. So I know they've seen my upcoming talks. And she had me look, and with Luma's, you know, like it's over 2,000 people have seen, you know, it's not a video, but it's my photograph, which I don't even know where they got that photograph because that wasn't the one you know, so all this alchemy is happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm out. I mean, people are seeing me. And what I'm realizing, and I think that this is the key for all of us, is when our message is our passion, we just have to get out of our own way, because it's not about the message that we are sharing with the world. And so when we just can shift that, and that's really helped me. And then posting the one video that I did to the ELA page, I had that same feeling of, oh, I could do that. And now I'm working at it. So just, you know, that awareness that, okay, we're getting out there, it's okay, and we can do this.
Gorgeous.
And it's about our message. So that's been really helpful, and it's been really exciting.
I love how you've integrated the messages from ELA, and you're making them your own, Maria. And you're also aware that, like, you got to keep working at it to make it really fluid. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Big kiss for you. Anyone else before we shift gears? A brag. It can be something small. It can be something large. I'm going to plug in my computer. Don't make me call you out. Thank you. Hi, Tariana. Welcome to the call.
Hi there. I have a little thing that it could be big.
Right.
I'm part of a global network of people and on regular conference calls discussing deep nature connection work. And our new series is focused on nature and healing. And it couldn't be more perfect for me. And one of my mentors, who I help facilitate the calls, she totally threw me for a loop and is proposing that all the other facilitators write to the main organization to have me do a keynote.
What is it about global? It just makes us all go, oh my God. Right?
So I'm nervous and excited, but I was totally blown away. I was not expecting anything like that. And it's just exciting that I'm really owning where I am, and it's being witnessed by my mentors. She's seeing that and nudging me with love and support. And it may happen, I don't know, but just that it's being recognized is really exciting.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. You know, sometimes when you get the opportunity, it puts a bigger fire under you, like, oh, I got to show up. I'm the keynote. And I just want to say that your signature talk is the bones, right? You've been working on that all year on some level, your message, how you present that. So don't think you're starting from scratch when it comes to that. You have good bones of that, and just find out what else they need and keep going. And whatever happens with that, whatever love you put into your signature talk, your keynote talk, it's going to broadcast to the universe that you are ready for that, Kariana, which is true. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, big kiss for you. I love seeing your face. Your cheeks, as soon as you said keynote, your cheeks got pink. They're like, yes, aliveness. Excellent. Ulrich, last one. Good morning. Guten Morgen.
Good evening.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend, yes. I made the decision to add Tarnet Woman Publishing, so I want to found a publishing house. Well, it's too much, but I want to offer women the possibility to publish their books with Tarnet Woman. So
gorgeous! I saw that on Facebook. That's an exciting twist.
It's an addition to the platform Tarnet Woman. I found it more than 1 year ago. And
what's the risk that you're taking, or what's the risk that you feel like you're like, oh, this would be a risk for me, and this is how I'm stepping up?
It's no risk. It's an opportunity. It's logic to add that. Feels fine.
And have you taken a risk this week to get visible with that new idea?
No, not yet. Not.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
It's not the time to get visible with that.
Got it. So you're just bragging because you have a new idea that's in addition to your platform and you want us to know about it. Is that right?
It's just decision making.
Decision making. I love that about you, Ulrich. You're a great decision maker. When you make a decision, you usually act on it and make something happen. So you've been a really beautiful role model for that. I appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
Yep. Big kiss for you. So before we dive into what a profit pyramid is and how you can create one for yourself, Shannon, do we have any announcements?
Announcements. First thing I wanted to just clue you guys into on the Facebook page, make sure you have access to that because I just posted Sage's Profit Pyramid and we're going to be looking at that together. So make sure you have that over there. Announcements, last day to download your materials. We've been getting a lot of these questions and I just wanted to know, I wanted you to know there's emails going out to you. There's like 4 emails that we've put so much good loving into for you as we wrap up ELA. And look out for those emails, but just know the last day to download is May 15th. And I highly recommend that you get a zip drive just for your ELA materials and you just put all of the materials on it, all the calls and all the handouts on there. Even if you've printed them out or whatever, just put the, and you can even make like folders for each month. Just put all the stuff on there because then on that zip drive, your whole year's worth of content, so valuable, is always going to be there and you can plug it into whatever computer you want to use and access those files. So that's my recommendation for you. Also, we are going to leave our ELA Facebook group and go to our alumni page. And I know some of you have developed your own mastermind groups and you want to stay connected in like a smaller cohort. And we absolutely bless that for you. Many of our clients do it and it's amazing. You guys have really claimed life-changing relationships together. So it's up to you guys to create those groups and put each other in them. But I want to really welcome you to our alumni page. One of the projects we're working on is consolidating our Facebook groups and making sure that the ones that we keep they've got lifeblood in them. And we want our alumni group to be alive because we want to be able to reach you and let you know what's going on and have you come to our events and have you in our worlds for years to come. So we've put Leverage and ELA together into an alumni group. It doesn't include any other program. It's just the women in our year-long programs or private coaching. So these are women who have been through what you've been through. They're speaking your language and it's great for networking. If you ever wanted to know like what happened in Leverage with these other women, like you'll be able to reach them over there. So all that stuff is coming to you. You can join that group. All right. So my last announcement is for all of you, many of you are in Leverage, going on to Leverage with us. And I just want to make this really clear for all of you. You get a highly discounted Leverage rate because you've already invested in ELA. And right now, up until April 18th, you can make your decision to stay with us. So I want to just address a couple common objections I'm hearing from you. from many of you. One is, I need to integrate what I've already gotten from ELA this year, and then I'll come back. I love this one because we can easily overwhelm ourselves with like, there's so much content. And what's really underneath that is, I didn't get as far as I wanted to, or I haven't somehow like got enough out of the materials I've already been giving, and adding more at this point isn't going to be good. I want to just like pull back and really work on what I've already got. That's great. I just want you to know, in Leverage, we're actually going to facilitate your integration process with the materials that you're given in ELA. So it's just about continuing on and staying with us. We know your business and you know us, and we know these tools work. We're going to keep building you into your plan for growth. So I want you to really consider that when you're thinking, yeah, I just need to like wait a year. 9 times out of 10, a lot of our women aren't going to come back in a year when they say they're going to. And it's easy to get distracted, and hiring another mentor that may be right for you. Each one of us is individual on this path. It can also be a distraction. So really check in with yourself. Is it going to be worth your while to invest somewhere else where they have to get to know you and you have to get to know them and the system all over again? There's so many systems out there, and a lot of them really work. But if this is working for you, I'm recommending you stay in this system. We would love to have you, obviously. If you didn't make enough money in ELA, maybe you're feeling disappointment that didn't happen and the bills are scaring you still. We've all been in that place, and we do have creative financing for you for Leverage. Like I said, you're going to get the best discount that anybody gets in Leverage. So if that's something that you're afraid of, chat with us. Get on the phone with me or Claire or Serena or one of the Leverage coaches, Shayna and Megan Neely. We'll chat with you about your money issues, and we'll look at the bigger picture of where you really want to be. So the invitation is that if you've stored up anything from ELA that you're sitting on and it doesn't feel good, wrapping up is like really a chance for you to clear that. You can clear that with one of your coaches. You can spring clean with a sister in here and just like download anything that you might be sitting on from ELA. It's really about you doing that for yourself and getting out of your own way again and again and again. And I personally love having these conversations with you. So if you have anything like that up, email us, let us know. We'll get you on our schedule and we'll chat about what your plan is for next year.
Awesome, Shannon. Thank you. I feel like an old woman every time I say, I remember when I climbed up in the snow, uphill, there and back. I find myself saying that to my nephew. But I remember when I finished ELA, and I had every problem that you just said, Shannon. I didn't get as far as I thought. I wasn't making the money. And I thought I could get another coach that would get me farther. And so I took a year off. And I looked around, and there's a couple things that happened for me. And one of them is my business just slowed down because I wasn't in a community of people that were holding me accountable. And as I slowed down, I started making less money. And then I started getting really scared. And as I got scared, I started attracting less clients. And then I really thought I was going to fail. So I started looking around for another coach, someone who was cheaper, or in particular, I wanted more like individualized help, someone who could just work with me with my issues, with my business, with my personality. And I didn't find anyone that was affordable for what I was making, since I wasn't making what I wanted to make. And I started to struggle really hard, and I almost gave up, and I started looking around for a job. And that's when I went back to this group, and I started volunteering, and then I ended up jumping back into Leverage. That's what happened for me. What I discovered is that I have so much internal dialogue and internal doubt about getting visible, about asking for more money. I have so much inside me. I'm working against myself so much that if I don't have someone actually shining back on me and reflecting back to me what I have inside, that I just keep going slower and slower and slower. So if you are considering jumping in with us and letting us support you for another year so that you can keep your momentum, as Shannon said, we'd be honored just to have the conversation with you, just to have the creative financial conversation, because we know not all of you are making the kind of money that you wanted to make so far? And I'm opening up my calendar so I can talk with some more of you this week. And I'm going to be reaching out to a few of you that I know that are on the fence to have that conversation, just to see if it's a fit. So let's dive in. Deborah, do you have a question before we do that? Yes, please.
I have two. You said we have until the 15th to download materials. That I'm assuming that that's ELA materials. And if we've been in any other program where we have access to the materials, those still remain?
Yeah, so clarifying question. Your bonus programs that are our online programs, they're not like live coaching programs. Those portals we are able to maintain. The year-long program, we're not able to maintain it. Links are going to break, things are going to happen, and we're not going to be able to go back in and really, keep all of that there for you. So it's just ELA. That's the bulk that you're downloading. You'll still have membership. You'll still be able to log in and get access to ECL, EMT, niche clarity.
Great. Thank you. That was number one. I appreciate that clarification. And the other is, we were going to have a list of what all of we ELA goddesses do. Like, what's our niche? Who do we support? Did we ever create that? Is it out there? And
yeah, actually the team was talking about this. This has been something that we haven't implemented, but what we're going to do, I'll have to circle back around with my core team on this because I know they're handling that project. We're going to create a living document for our year-long clients where you can access like a Google Doc, right? And you can access it and fill your own information in. Because the problem is we don't always have the most up-to-date information from all of you. And we want you to just be able to go in there and add it yourselves. And if you don't want to be featured on it, you don't have to go in there and add it. So I'm going to take a note on that and circle back with my team and see when that's happening.
Great. For ease of collection, may I suggest Google Forms? Google Forms allow us to input in specific fields, and it actually goes into a sheet. You just can make it available to everybody to view and edit.
That's sexy. Thank you, Deborah. Sexy. I love it. Thank you for your questions. Really helpful. And welcome to Ida.
You can thank Kaya for the second question.
Okay. Hi, Ida Maria. Welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Yay. Thank you, Deborah. Big kiss for you. Mwah. Excellent. So let's dive in. Shannon, would you be willing to do a screen share and give us a visual of the profit pyramid? Now, all the handouts we're going to be looking at today are in the forum, ladies. So you can have a peek at them, or you have them printed out like Teresa. I love that you're bragging with that. I got it. Oh, yep, there's Karen. All right, nice, ladies. Now this is an overview, right? This is not a connect the dot game. This is an overview of what's possible. So can you share with us, Shannon, the blue one? Not Sage's one, but the blue one.
The blue one.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
This is one of the things I want you ladies to understand about the pyramid when it pops up, which is a different shape than all the squares, is that the profit pyramid, the most important parts that we want to look at today are the beginning, or the top of the pyramid, and the bottom of the pyramid. The bottom of the pyramid is our free gift. And this is one of the most important things that we all want to have in place, whether we're doing it virtually or we're doing it live. So your free gift, right? It can be your free gift on your landing page, or it can be your free discovery session that you offer at the end of your signature talk, or you offer to someone in person. It's one of the things that you want really actively working. Shannon's still working.
It's my computer's a little bit slow. I'll pop it up as soon as I can. I'll give you a little heads up.
Okay, awesome. So the top of your pyramid is your high-end program. Now, what I want to just preface about high-end is everyone's high-end is different. Your high-end program might be a 4-month program for $300 a month. That might be your high-end one-on-one private coaching. our high-end program is ELA and Leverage, right? They are our year-long programs. So when we're talking about a high-end program, we're talking about a program that's anywhere from 3 months to a year, anywhere from $300 to $10,000. That's your high-end program. And what we really want you to envision is that when you are having at the bottom of your pyramid, if you're giving away a lot of free gifts, right? If you're connecting with people and you're letting them know that you have something that they can taste of yours, and that's a generous gift, that you're pointing them all towards your high-end program. With those two things in place, especially if that's what you've been focusing on this year, your vision is really on the way to success. There's a couple ways to augment your profit in this pyramid. Shannon, if you can't get that up, you can just take us back to Sage's and we can use that example. So Sage had done obviously a profit pyramid, and she gave us her example for 2011 for ELA. And it looks like this. Dun, dun, dun. So in 2011, Sage's free gift, which is at the bottom, was her business wisdom newsletter. So that was her freebie. So she was, right, she was generously sharing with her email list and on Facebook her business wisdom. She was also giving free talks and offering discovery sessions. That was for the bottom of her pyramid, something she was doing all the time and focusing her energy on. And in the beginning, she was putting all of those people who said yes to her into her private client program. And so, as you can see on this profit pyramid, she had a goal of enrolling 5 private clients at $997 a month for a year. So her first ELA program, her first entrepreneur leadership program, had 5 people in it. And so that gave her a profit that looks like $59,820. And that was that was her goal, right? So for many of you, that's enough to end ELA with. A really clear plan of how you get discovery sessions, where your free gift is on your landing page, and a goal of how many private clients you want. Now, ladies, like I said, this profit pyramid is a vision. So the price that you put in for your private clients might change. You might give yourself a raise in 6 months. You might give yourself a raise next month, right? This isn't solid. This is something that evolves over time. Now, the second thing that Sage did is she did her Telesummit training program. So if you see right above the base level and a do-it-yourself program, she did a Telesummit. And she did that to build her list so that she could offer her free gift. That was the purpose of that. But once she did her Telesummit, she had that all recorded. Now she had something that she could offer as a do-it-yourself. So she packaged her Telesummit training and she began selling that. And again, she gave it a price, $997. She had a goal of selling it to at least 27 people, and her profit was $26,000. Since it was a do-it-yourself, she didn't have to recreate it over and over again. Her Telesummit training was a package that was recorded. It was a thing. So you can imagine, as she's having her discovery sessions, and some of her clients don't want to jump into her year-long program or become a private client because of whatever reason, she can always sell them her Telesummit training program if they just want that project. So now she has 2 things that she's selling. Right above that is her VIP days. So again, a lot of times people don't say yes to our programs because of time or money. So when we run into a client who's not willing to invest in a year-long program or invest in 6 months, another great way to make fast cash is to offer them a VIP session. And this is something we go into extensively in Leverage. How do you add a VIP day into your program? Because it's a quick way as Teresa's saying, thumbs up, she wants to do that, is to get people in, right? Because a lot of times people are busy, so on, so on, so on. If you give them a VIP day of 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and you consolidate a chunk of information, you give it to them, oftentimes that will be their first investment with you, right? They love you. If you've given them a huge business plan, if you help them revamp their kitchen, if you help them get through huge obstacles with food, whatever it is your niche is, oftentimes they'll be like, oh my God, this is golden. Thank you for all this information. I want more help. And oftentimes from there, they might jump into a longer program. So VIP days can be both a great way to make quick cash and a way for people to get a good, really good taste of you and jump into something longer with you. So on top of that, Sage has her first Entrepreneur Leadership Academy program. Oh, got it. So I'm actually incorrect. Her ELA came, which is not her private clients. That was her year-long program. So she wanted 20 people in ELA, and from that she had 5 private clients. So it looks like what Sage did, she started with private clients, and then she created a group program. Of course she did. That's logical. So ladies, what we're going to ask you to do this month is to print out this Brainstorming Your Profit Pyramid worksheet and just brainstorm out where you are now and some places you want to go. And what Sage was sharing with me, especially for this call, was that you can create a profit pyramid going forward. So for example, it's March now. We're not asking you to create a profit pyramid from the past, but from right now. Like what do you have in place to keep in touch with your clients right now? What are you committing to? Is it signature talks? Is it signature talks moving people back to your landing page? How do you have that set up? And then your private clients. What are you charging them for how long and what is your goal? And then for some of you who are moving into group programs, you're like Danielle, your private client load is full. You might be moving into a group program next. You would look into your leverage program. And what we mean by leverage, ladies, is obviously you're going to spend less time teaching to a group than you will a bunch of private clients. So you're leveraging your time.
I've got something to add here.
Yes,
it's really important, specifically for all of you who may not be ready to do the do-it-yourself program. So if we look at Sage's profit pyramid and we've got the Telesummit training program, you may not be ready to do that. That's totally okay. So guess what? Skip that level. Just skip that level. And in leverage, you're going to learn how to package and sell your VIP days. This is really the piece that you can use right now before you have a do-it-yourself program ready. So you still have your entry level. We're going to, leapfrog over the do-it-yourself, and you're going to go into VIP days. And then, like Serena was saying, your group program. So right now with ELA, it's about all the core skills, right? And we've been saying, okay, let's flush out our marketable program and get our momentum with our first handful of clients. Let's start getting paid what we're afraid to ask for and put ourselves out there with our program. And then it's time to think about your group program. But a really great way is to kind of, if you don't have the do-it-yourself part, is to, kind of merge that level with the VIP day and just put together a VIP package for people that aren't wanting to hop into your group program. Now, I also talked about this on a coaching call with a client yesterday. She's on this call. And one of the things we talked about is how important it is to have one offer still. We don't want you all on the board, like, pulling out your full bag of tricks when somebody throws up an objection to you and you're offering a group program. If you're enrolling for a group program, then hold that line. That group program is what you have to offer. So much of sales is in the follow-up. So for the people that were on the fence, or they were a no but, or you just felt like they were the one that got away, you can always follow after you fill your group program. You can always follow up with those VIP days and for the conversations that you had that you felt needed follow up. But I'm really recommending you know what you're offering when you go into an offer period or you go into a discovery session. And this is not about This is more about looking at like how the clients enter in and come up through your pyramid. It's not about offering them a smorgasbord of everything you have. Does that make sense?
Thanks, Shannon. That's awesome. Can we give them another example so we can really see the math on it? Because ladies, this is also a way to plot out how much, right, when you're trying to cover your basic expenses, like how much do I charge? What do I do so that I can make sure everything is covered? So Shannon, can you pop up the example of the women's empowerment coach who made $63,000? She was an ELA client.
The women's empowerment coach. So my Zoom is taking up so much of my bandwidth. I'm not able to load other things.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying, but the women's empowerment coach, and I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Maybe I can grab it.
Okay. So ladies, we've had multiple clients use this profit pyramid as a way to also help them stay focused, right? As like Shannon was saying, we tend to do this thing where like if we're not getting a lot of private clients, we're like, okay, I'll offer them something else. How about a VIP day? How about a do-it-yourself? And then what we do is we get in this overwhelm of like, what am I trying to create and who is it for? And we don't end up making a profit. So what we really want you all to remember is that private clients first, one client at a time. Because behind that, or under that, what's supporting that is you getting out and talking, you getting out and networking, you getting out and offering, you getting out and having discovery sessions, right? There's a lot of work under getting just one private client. So we don't want you creating a bunch of stuff or a bunch of different programs hoping that will catch someone. It's a scarcity mindset that we do that. So we're going to keep it really simple. So we had an ELA client who was a women's empowerment coach, and she made $63,000. And this is how she did it. She had a goal of 12 clients, and her program was $3,600. So she started doing that, and she made $43,200 just from her 12 clients. So raise your hand if 12 clients would be enough for you. 12 private clients would be enough for you. Awesome. Awesome. It's a really good goal. And it's really doable. I just put 13 women in my group program. It's doable if you do the steps underneath, right? So that was her plan. Her program was $3,600. And she also started doing something else to support that. She started doing a meetup group. That's how she got people funneling into her group program. She was doing a meetup group month after month, right? Offering the free gifts, teaching. So how many of you have something that you're doing on a monthly basis, whether it's a meetup group, a signature talk, or you're speaking in front of someone else's group at least once a month? Awesome, about half of you. Great. So the other half of you, that is something you really want to put on your pyramid, is really strategize what your free gift is and how you're letting people know about it. Because without the free gift, without that little taste of what you're like, it's unlikely that they're going to invest off of a flyer or off of the web. So 1 month, this client was really short on cash flow. So she developed a VIP day. She had an issue with her car. And she was just like, I need money fast. I have all this money from my 12 clients, but I need extra. So she developed a VIP day where she would spend a day breaking through whatever was holding them back in their leadership. And she offered that obviously to her 12 women and beyond. So it was an offering for her group and beyond. And she packaged that VIP day and she made extra cash. And Sage really goes in depth how to do that in leverage. Because remember, ladies, when we offer a VIP day, it's more expensive than your group program. It's a specialized process. It saves you time, it saves you energy, it saves you money, something like that. And it's usually around what people are stuck with the most, right? Because even when we enroll clients into a 6 or 12 month program, they're still coming up against their obstacles. They might not be moving as fast. They might be stuck in an emotional morass. So a VIP session directly towards where they're stuck is in addition to, not instead of your program. So that's what she did. She designed a VIP session, and that added almost $8,000 to her annual revenue. And then she started doing it every year. In addition to her program, she did a VIP. So I want to pause here because I see some hands going up, and get some questions so that nobody's confused as we move forward. And I thought I saw Adriana, did your hand go down? Okay. So Robin, did you have a question, Adriana?
Yeah, it was about the VIP day, but you answered most of my questions. So I was just confirming that it's a private session, like a few hours or the whole day with a client.
Yes, and you can do that for one client, or you can do it for a group of clients. So if you want to leverage your time on a VIP session, you can put a bunch of women in there, similar to what we're about to do with the virtual day, where we're going to help you do a group program for anyone who wants to bring a friend contest. We've got like a bunch of women in there. So you can do that, or you can do a VIP just for one person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Robin, what you got?
There we go. So yeah, I have a ton of confusion around this. I discovered I'm the one that Shannon talked about, and I realized that, I mean, I have kind of mushed this all up in my mind. So I'm confused as we're talking about this case study number 1, Women's Empowerment Coach. As I understand it, the first thing we do is give a way to stay in touch, and then the goal as a newbie is to create a handful of, you've said a dozen one-on-one clients. So a couple times in this conversation, you've mentioned group, in your group program, but the assumption I'm having is that we're not yet there at the group program, only a few people are. So if the goal is, how do I keep in touch with them? And then I create a signature talk or some way that's part of the keeping in touch, so that I can create one-to-one clients, private clients.
That's right.
That's the first goal.
Yep.
And so the discovery session from Shannon, I learned yesterday that there's a reason why you do this process, where first you announce your talk, and then you give your talk, and you expect them to come and be part of that talk, so that you're forming their expectations, and then you from there do a discovery session, and from there you invite them into your program, which happens to be private right now, one-on-one.
Exactly.
So one thing I've been doing is just wherever I can, just taking discovery sessions out of sequence, not following a talk. And apparently that doesn't allow me to build something with them already that creates me and them being ready in a kind of a really good way, confident way to work together. So that's something I learned yesterday.
I love that you're pointing that, because it's true, Robin, right? If you sit down and have a 2-hour conversation with someone, and you give them hot tips, and you address the problems that they're struggling with, and you're really like giving yourself for 2 hours, and then you make them an offer, right? Do you want to hang out with me for a couple months? Do you want to hang out with me for 6 weeks? There's more of a relationship there. If you have a discovery session where you meet someone at the grocery store, or a friend of a friend on the phone, you have a half an hour conversation, and it's a grow conversation, which is mostly about what they're struggling with, what they want, and what's in the way, right? They're not really getting to see you as the expert that has this body of work, right? Because that's what your signature talk is. I have this body of work, and I'm going to give you a little slice of it if you want more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different sequence. I love that you pointed that out. It doesn't mean that you can't have one-off discovery sessions. It's true. But what you might want to do is put a few things in there between that discovery session when you offer it to them, when they have it, right? You might send them a checklist. You might send them an assessment. You might send them to your Facebook page where they get to see a video of you and look at your Facebook page and all the people are commenting, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
It's like there's no foreplay.
Exactly.
It's like there's no foreplay. And then
I love that.
the other piece is I had VIP days as a separate, I'm calling them SKUs, you know, like in sales where you have SKUs that you have this product and this product and this product. You might have one that's just slightly different than another, but they're all on the shelf. And I'm thinking of the VIP day sitting on the shelf next to the one-on-one coaching. And what I'm hearing you say is, no, it's not. You might launch a coaching year or 6-month period with somebody with an intensive, right? Like a VIP day, like
VIP
situation. But you're talking about something completely different where it's separate and it's a deeper experience than what even the private coaching might include.
Awesome. So your question's about VIPs, right?
That's this
awesome.
question.
Okay. So there's a couple different ways to do it. So that might be why you're having some confusion, because again, all of our businesses are a little different. So the way we're suggesting in the profit pyramid, you're understanding correctly. It's something separate.
Okay.
It has a separate cost. It has a separate intention. And obviously it's linked to your ideal market because you're still going after your niche. You can market it to people who have already bought from you, who are already in your program, and people who haven't invested in you yet. So those are all the people you can market it to. Exactly.
So the reason why I think I was confused about that is that there's this thing inside of me that says my program needs to be good enough that it doesn't need to be propped up or supplemented by a VIP day.
I have that too. But let's use Speak and Sell as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because our Speak and Sell is kind of like a 2-day VIP.
Mm-hmm.
In ELA, we teach you everything you need to know to do your signature talk. We teach you about story. We do all of this. Why do a VIP? Because following your thought, Robin, and what mine was in the past was like, oh, people will feel like they're not getting it in the program. Then we have to do the supplement, right?
Yep.
But there's a different way of thinking. And the thinking is, right, many people like to go faster, have results quicker because they're in money jeopardy or they're just ready to speak. And there's this thing that you teach in your group program, but you don't teach it that deeply.
Or not in your group, but in your one-on-one basic, like you could call it basic, and this could be bonus or
So another reason
steroids.
You would do a VIP session is you're watching in your group program that you teach all this stuff, but there's this one area where people struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And what we notice, right, is getting visible and finding your voice is a place where women in particularly struggle. So we took out that thing that people struggle with a lot. And we're like, here, we can help you even more with this one piece if that's what you're struggling with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's like the premium version or like a stepped up version that you can further invest in.
You could think of it that way. Yeah. And the way to frame it, right, is that, right, based on your experience working with private clients, you see that a lot of your clients struggle in this one area and you want to give them extra support. It's not for everybody, but if you really want to X, Y, or Z, get along faster with this, figure this one out, then this is particularly for you. And look at it all the time. People invest in things, they buy things, and then they want to soup them up. Right? I mean, just think about cars. People buy cars and then all of a sudden they want to soup it up. They want better tires, or they want heating in their cushion of their chair. They want a sunroof and they soup it up. Not everybody wants a sunroof, but people are willing to invest a little bit more because people, when they buy something from you, they want to buy again, or they want to upgrade, or they want to better, or they just want more of you. It happens all the time. If you look at any business, I mean, I love looking at kids' games and stuff like that because they're notorious for that, right? If you buy your kid one Lego game, expect to buy them Legos for the next 6 years and expect Lego to be creating other things because people want more of that. And when we create a VIP, day, or when we create some kind of adjunct to something we're already selling, imagine what you could give them that would benefit them the most. Then you can feel good about it. Not just that you're pushing Legos on your clients. You need more Legos, you need more Legos, because that's what we're all allergic to. But jump into their shoes for a minute and be like, what are they struggling with the most? Can I give them a little bit more of that which is in me? And then, Robin, see what happens. If you have a bunch of people jump into your VIP session because they want it, great. If they're not investing in it, then you might not be on the mark. I remember when Sage was selling her telesummit training. Everyone was crazy about telesummits, and everybody was jumping in. As time has gone on, telesummits haven't been as hot. Less people are interested in telesummits because the market got flooded with telesummits. So she's had to pivot. Now we're doing something called Speak and Sell. We're going to keep sharing that with our clients as it works and keep improving that program. But when Speak and Sell no longer works anymore, or people don't want it, we'll probably create something that meets our clients. Okay?
So I have one more question about this.
Awesome.
Is that okay? What I've done is when I've talked to somebody about my 6 month or my 3 month, which I'm now making it one or the other, thank you, Shannon, and they haven't been ready for that, for the investment, I have actually sold them a VIP day. And what I'm doing is selling them a shorter version, like an intro version. So it's really not the same thing as what we're talking about here. And I don't know if it's
is the VIP a piece of your program, or is it your program?
Yeah,
into one
it's
thing?
a piece. It's like the first step.
So this is a really important distinction. Great coaching, Shannon. This is a really important distinction, ladies, because this is where we can sell ourselves short. If somebody is short on time and money and they're like, I just want something shorter, and we're like, okay, I'll give you everything I have in a VIP session or a day long or something like that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to implement or absorb all your 6 month program in a day, but you can sell them or offer them to take them first through the first step of your program in-depthly. But I highly recommend, Robin, that at the end of that VIP that you're offering, you are seeding and offering them the next step.
Yeah,
and
that's
showing them how this step is super crucial, but it's not complete without 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we did talk about this model earlier in the ELA when I was sharing with you all that often when I first began and I'd offer people a program, a storytelling program, and they were on the fence. They're like, I want to do it. I don't, no. I say, for you, if you jump in now, you can have a 2-hour VIP session with me to jumpstart you into my program. And I gave it to them right as a bonus. I didn't charge them for it. And people got, especially women, really excited of 2 hours of focused time with me just on their story. They could tell me their story at length with all the details and not try and squeeze their story into a 50-minute session. They were like over the moon. That is one way to jumpstart your private clients. Okay. And here's the thing. If you're clever, track those 2-hour VIP sessions that you give as a bonus to your clients for the program. And then later, as you start to get busier and busier, take that VIP session and sell it like we're talking about in addition to your program. Instead of giving it to them at the beginning, give it to them as an adjunct and get paid for it. Because you've already done the research. You've already done it enough times. You know it works. It's really helpful. And then you can sell it to them later. Awesome. So we're going to move on to VIP days right now. Great questions, Robin. Thank you so much. Big kiss for you.
Thank you.
And I really love it. I love it. I love it. So I saw another hand up. It looks like Kariana has her hand up and Tatiana has her hand up. Can we go to you, Kariana?
Sure. My question is really quick. You mentioned earlier the difference between the bottom and top of the pyramid. And you said the top is the high-end program, and you said it was between 3 to 6 months, and you gave a range of money. Can you give that again? Because I missed the numbers.
Yeah, so it's 3 to 12 months. And the numbers can be from $300 to $10,000.
Okay. Thank you. Just so I have that range, that helps.
Totally. Kiss for you,
Thank
love. Quick and easy. Tatiana, hi.
Hi. About VIP, I really like the concept, and two questions regarding this. I am planning to have weekly meetings in my group program with participants, and I am planning to talk about I'm talking about self-esteem, attachment styles, building boundaries, traumas. So if I decided to do VIP day, something extra, is it going to be one of those topics but deeper exploration, or it should be like different topic? Because what I was thinking about VIP day, I'm already going to offer during my group program. Just trying to figure out.
Awesome. And tell me, is your private practice full yet? Do you have 12 paying clients or more?
I don't have 12 clients, but it's snowballing right now. So
nice.
I will have 12 clients soon. Yeah.
Awesome. So one of the things I want to recommend to you and anyone who that's happening to, you're moving towards 12 clients, is fulfill with those 12 first.
Yeah.
Fulfill in that first, because that's a lot of souls in the room that are needing your support. If you do a deep dive in your program with those 12 people, Tatiana, you do some kind of version of like an afternoon where you do something really deep with them, and you're futurizing. This could be a VIP. That's a great place to be. It's a great place to be.
Right. So
and then once you do that within that group, and it feels like you're getting great results, people really want it, you get testimonials from them, right? Then you can bring it out into an adjunct for sure. But I really recommend stick with those 12 clients first. It's like the market research, right?
Yeah. So
because
they will give me the answers basically.
Exactly. Because when you're talking about self-esteem and attachment issues, I know that they're related, right? If your attachment style is good, if you're evolving, then your self-esteem grows. But you don't know yet if you offered a VIP session that was on self-esteem or attachment or the title or the results, like what would be the hottest thing to offer them. So offer it to your clients first as a beta and then pull it out from there. That's what I would recommend.
Right. Okay. And thank you so much, Serena. And yes, I'm not planning to do VIP day anytime soon before I really, start getting this full roster of clients. Just for the future, how would I call this VIP day? I cannot call it VIP day. It's just something that we don't.
You can call it anything you want. Okay. But consider using the hot title formula. So for example, right, our hot title was speak and sell. That's what we did our VIP session, right? Anyone who wants to master the art of speaking and selling. So use your hot title formula to come up with those titles. And Tatiana, I love that you're in the place of brainstorming, because that's actually what we're talking about with this profit pyramid. If you were to do these things, what would they be? And then that's the vision. And then think about, like, what do I have to do in order to make that real? So beautiful. Good? Yeah. Big kiss for you. Awesome. So it looks like we've got a couple more, we've got one more questions, and then we have another example. Shannon, where are we with the second example?
My computer is totally frozen. If you can screen share it, that'd be great.
Great. Thank you. Todd, Adriana.
So when you were talking about the Telesummit training program, you said that Sage used her program to build her list so that she could offer her free gift.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you said that is not very popular right now. So what would you recommend that we use instead of the Telesummit?
Great question. Great question.
Want me to take this?
So,
Grace?
what was that?
Oh, I can chime in here if you want.
Go for it.
So the telesummit training, and I just want to clarify something for you. Telesummits may be like old hat right now, but it's still happening in different ways, like through Facebook Lives and webinar series and challenges. It's a model that it's evolving. So I want to just point out that our telesummit training, we still use it in leverage. It still has value. And what you can do instead of the telesummit is really anything. So for example, what we're doing is events that change lives. We started out as 6 weeks, and then we ended up making it 3 months so we could spread the calls out and give people a little more time to implement. You can do anything like a 6-week program or a 90-day challenge or anything that you want to do with them virtually where they can hop in for a low cost, right? And then you're giving them a very tightly packaged piece of your time. So maybe it's like a couple calls a month and they're in group format. And outside of that, they're not getting any like one-on-one care or anything like this. You can actually come up, like Serena was just talking about with Tatiana, you can pull out any nugget just like you would for a VIP day. And this is why you can actually interchange those two until you have the whole pyramid, you're ready to have the whole pyramid. You can pull out any topic and do that 90-day challenge or 6-week program. So we have enrollment mastery training. We did niche clarity, packaged that into a do-it-yourself. That was a 4-module process originally. We did enrollment mastery training where we put all of our enrollment skills right into a do-it-yourself program. So you can run anything like that live and then be packaging the content and the recordings for something that's virtual down the road. So we pulled out niche, we pulled out enrollment, we pulled out workshops.
Yeah, Shannon's totally right. And here's the thing. All of that costs money, right? If you do a 6-week program to package it, really you're investing in someone to come out and videotape it. You're investing in uploading it. You're investing in creating a website for it. You're creating that virtual package so that you could share it again and again and get your investment back. And that's really, really a great plan. But that comes at a particular time in your business. So Sage has done this over and over through the course of her 5-year business. What I'm curious about for you, Ariadna, is where are you in your business? Let's just start with the basics of getting the word out and building your list.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just working with one-on-one clients. That's what I'm at right now. So
how are you building your list? It looks like you're building your list with Facebook and you're posting
in my signature talks.
In your signature talks, awesome. And are you teaching any place? Are you in front of groups in any other form?
Yes, I teach a weekly class, but it's just a regular yoga class.
Good. Are you telling people about your other business in your yoga class?
I started.
Great. Mm-hmm. So that's a really soft offer, right? If people are coming to your class and they're paying for it, you don't want to hit them at the end of, oh, by the way, I have this other thing that I want you to invest in. You make a soft offer by saying something like, maybe some of you don't know, but I started this coaching business. I help people who are struggling with X, Y, or Z. If that's you, come talk to me after class.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, you can invite them to come to your signature talk. Or at the end of your class, you could say something like, I don't know if some of you know, I started coaching and I'm doing a free talk on Friday. If you want to come see me. I have a sign up here. Nothing to do
with what I've been doing. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's edgy, isn't it?
Yeah, especially at the end of the class when they are all ready to go home and then you are talking about what you're going to do.
That's why it's a soft offer, right? Totally. I used to be always the one that would complain at the end of a dance when they would do commercials. I'd be like, oh, they're doing commercials. And now I do it. I'm like, if you want to come listen to storytelling. So yeah, really soft. But what I want to point out is when she gives a soft offer at the end of her yoga class, she is in a credible place. She's just taught a class. She's led a group of people through an experience. So there's no better time to let people know that she's up to something. It's that kind of credibility that gets people to come and want more of you. So I see you have 3 different pieces. You're building your Facebook group, you're doing signature talks, and you're making soft offers at your class. Awesome. So you're putting people into a private sessions, is that right?
Yes.
And how many, what's your goal? How many do you want?
How many clients?
Mm-hmm.
I think that 12 would be nice.
Awesome. And what are you offering those 12? How long is your program and what are you charging them? May I ask you?
Yeah, you may ask. I I just have a couple of things going on right now. So I have people coming for the anxiety problem or,
Mm-hmm. And how long do you support them?
These people for 3 months.
Awesome. And what do you charge them a month?
It's been changing. Some people pay so it depends on the person, between $240 per
Mm-hmm.
month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, even though I've been offering it for $397, only I had just, some people taking this offer for the to around 200. So my goal is to charge them more, but so far, because it's new, I just haven't been, I haven't gotten the clients for so I wanted to have the experience, basically.
Awesome. So you have a range between 200 and 297.
And 397.
And 397. Awesome. So there's a big range in there. So what I want to say to you, sweetheart, is if someone is saying, I really want it, I really want to work with you, I can't afford more than 200, it's just impossible. Yeah, of course you're going to want to work with those people because you want experience and you want them to get results. You want them to talk about you and create the buzz and join your Facebook group and all of those things. Perfect. But what I want to caution you, because there's about $200 difference, you may not give them your whole package. They may have a few less calls with you. Okay? I want you just to modulate how much energy that you're giving them without compromising on the results. Does that make sense?
Well, I think I need coaching about this, because the thing is that if I give them less, they start calculating how much time they are paying per session. And even though I have a package, I haven't been able to move people away from this thought that they are paying per session. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So every time I offer less, in their mind, like, it's not worth it because they are paying the same and they're getting less.
So I love that you're pointing this out, because this is a lot of what we learn in our discovery sessions when we're talking with clients, right? How to get them out of the hour for dollar mindset if we're in it ourselves. And the other thing I heard you say is because I'm new, I can't charge more, right?
Well,
so again,
I want to. Yeah. They are not ready.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So one of the things I would recommend you do is you do some more work with a coach or one of your sisters on just why your program isn't worth $397. Just do a whole spring cleaning. My program is not worth $397 because it's new. It's not worth $397 because no one can afford it. It's not worth $397 because I'm making this up as I go. This isn't worth $397, right? Because it's in there. Mm-hmm. It's in there. Yeah. Because one of the biggest things that you can learn to do is to sit with them and just look them straight in the eyes and say, it's worth $397.
And what is interesting is that I have this other program that is already, it has given to me, that it was already developed, and people are paying me for it, the $397. So with my program, it's not happening, but with this other program, it is. It's a coaching program. It's not on anxiety. It's just for career coaching.
Interesting. And are you addressing anxiety?
Yes.
So I'm just guessing that there's a way that these two things need to be merged.
And that's what I did with my personal program. With the anxiety, I merged them.
Good. And one of the things that you and I have talked about a bunch is how anxiety is a really broad net. When you said I help people with career coaching, I have a face pop in my head. When you say I help people with anxiety, it could be anyone who's afraid of spiders to someone who's afraid of dating. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if it's not the program, but it's part of the way that you package your message. And when you have a message about I help people with career, and then what you know, like your stealth mission is, you know, you help them with anxiety. Because leaving a job creates anxiety for them. Staying with their job creates anxiety. They wake up with anxiety. Like, you know that that's part of it, but not to lead with anxiety in the same way. And that seems like an evolution from you stepping away from the yoga into helping people with career. And honestly, that's where you'll make the 397, because people who want to make money spend money. So if they're wanting to change their income, change their career, they're willing to invest in that. I would consider going in that direction if you want to make your goal, because if you had 12 clients at 397, you'd be making almost 5,000 a month. Would that make you happy?
Mm-hmm. It would be perfect right now.
Yeah. So who's your buddy? I
have several. I have Melinda, Cariana.
Good, you've got some witnesses here. So,
yeah.
One of you ladies, I want to, or both of you, commit to helping. Yep, Melinda's right there, helping her claim her value, and also helping her share her message with you, like getting her message out of her mouth, how finding and creating anxiety, how those meet, and how she can help the person with that. You ready? You ready to make some more money? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Good. All right, good. So I just want to bring it back to, how do you build your list? Because that was your initial question before I nailed you on the price. But ladies, this is a big piece. In this profit pyramid, while it's a vision, right? It's not a marketing plan. It's not our social media plan. We need to put numbers in it and goals. Because if we're not meeting them, what we're doing is we're shortchanging ourselves on what we actually need to live the life that we want to live. And I do this to myself. I got nailed in the kitchen over breakfast by Megan Neely. I was cooking her breakfast for her birthday, and she goes, how much is your program going to cost this year? And I was like, I can't charge them because they can only afford this much. And she's just shaking her head at me, because Megan Neely wants to jump into my storytelling program. And she's expecting to pay twice as much as what I'm offering. I almost fell over in my kitchen. I'm like, what? Are you kidding? Like, everything in my head that I was telling her, I discovered was really bullshit. It was all of my fear. And I had this person standing in my kitchen calling me on it. So I want to speak to the power of buddies. And if you guys aren't getting together on Skype where you can see each other's faces, you might consider that, right? Because when your entrepreneurial sister says something and you're like, like, you know, this is a really good place to get busted on how we undervalue ourselves. And $397 a month, Adriana, for someone who's wanting to get out of a job or be supported in starting a new career, like that's easy sneezy. And I know you can do it. So building your list, right? What can you do to build your list to the next level? I would recommend, of these 3 strategies, a signature talks. Really setting yourself as an expert is helping people with career. And I would recommend that this group you see about getting on someone else's stage, or you see about speaking in someone else's Facebook Live, or some other ways where you can just be getting out and sharing that message so you can break the visibility barrier. What do you say about that?
Yeah, the only thing is that because we had a coaching session a while ago, and you and I were talking about me working on different, narrowing it down, right? So exploring, my next signature talk is on relationships.
Great.
Anxiety, right? So everything is related. So let's see what happens. You know, I'm just exploring and sort of, you know, working, see what happens, how I feel with these topics and what comes out of it.
Awesome. So you may be helping people with relationship over career. So here's the thing. Don't lead with anxiety in relationship. Lead with solving the problem with relationship. If you're looking for relationship, valuable relationship, meaningful relationship, I'm here to support you with that. And then once you get them in the room, address the anxiety that comes up in relationship. That makes sense? Anxiety is the symptom. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else before we let you go? You're in the hot seat.
No, I think it's fine. Yeah, thank you so much. If something
Good.
comes up, I'll let you know.
You're welcome. Big kiss for you. I'm curious if anyone else wants to share with us what their profit pyramid looks like. Just some of the brainstorming they've done with just the bottom level, how you're reaching out, how have people get in touch with you, and what your program is, the cost, the length of it, so we can support you to get what you're worth and have your goals be out here and visible. For that, let's unmute our lines and do a 7th inning stretch. We have about a half an hour left. So why don't you unmute your line. Take a big inhale and exhale with the sound. Yeah, beautiful. When I talk about money, it always makes me a little tense, but I really like it when I get it. I really like it when I ask for my price and someone says, you are worth it. There's nothing better than that feeling, ladies. And again, we're going to come back to experience equals confidence. One of the reasons that we suffer from a lack of confidence is because people haven't paid our full rate enough times for us to be like, yeah. My group program, when I first started, was $400 for 3 months. Total. That was the whole thing. And I shared that with my partner that I started with. That's how little confidence I had when I started. I'm like, I don't know if this will work. I don't know if I know anything about.
Uh-oh.
$1,500 for 6 months. And I'm about to raise it again. I mean, that's like 4 times what I started with. And what gave me the confidence is every time I did the program and I saw a woman transform, I'm like, oh my God, this works. Okay. So some of it is getting paid for it. And the other is seeing the results of your clients and really celebrating that one win at a time and give you confidence in your business, is celebrating each time someone comes. So who would like to share their bottom and the top of their pyramid, who's already, and it could just be what you're doing right now that's working. Awesome. Kariana.
Why not go for it?
Yeah, you're right behind your buddy. This is really good. Now she can hold you accountable. She can hold you accountable in return.
Yeah,
So
not my comfort zone here.
So with us, sweetheart, what are you doing as your free gift? How can people find you?
They can only find me by word of mouth and my talks. I'm still working on a web page.
Great, word of mouth and your signature talks.
Yep.
Awesome. And then you're working on a free gift on your webpage.
I have at least my discovery sessions, but I want to, I'm trying to come up with maybe free tips. I'm not sure. I'm still working on what my instant gratification gift could be.
Awesome. So in this moment, sweetheart, what I would recommend is having a way for them to get a discovery session on your website is good enough.
Is good enough? Okay.
Is good enough. Where I would focus for you is on your signature talks, because word of mouth is great. You're going to keep doing that, but really get a series of signature talks out, setting yourself up as an expert.
Okay.
Highly recommend that. You'll get, you're more likely to get a client to invest that way than off your website, unless you're driving people to your website. Okay. So signature talk. And maybe you might be hiding behind your screen a little bit. So get you out there. Okay. Now,
part of it's my schedule too, because I have so little time this spring and summer. I'm trying to at least get my foundation in place before I do more talks, because I can't take on clients now.
So why is your schedule limited? I've heard you say that before, but I don't understand why.
I'm involved in my other job, which I poured my heart and soul into. I can't just up and leave.
You have a full-time job or a part-time job?
It's it's part-time, but it really more full-time.
It's a full-time, part-time job. Oh, one of those. Oh,
One of
got
those.
it. Okay. Okay.
With the wilderness school that I work at.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're doing. I love it that you're doing it, but it's not. It sounds like it's not. It's not paying back to you. Is that right?
No.
Financially. Okay. Awesome.
It's a nonprofit, and I hardly earn enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I want us to stay right there in that really tender spot and just acknowledge that you've poured your life and soul into a wilderness program. And you've gotten a ton of experience. You've probably met a bunch of people, and it's really enriched your life. And that's why you're here now.
It's paid me internally. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really hard to let go of because it is your soul work, but it hasn't been a successful business model. Is that right?
Yes and no. I also can't, if I left, the school would probably fold and totally change.
Right.
Because the executive director is stepping down, that we co-founded it together. So that's the whole thing. I'm gradually training other people to take my place as I serve. I'm in a transition phase.
Yeah. So part of that transition phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to really stake out territory in the new land, which is your new business, right? And what can happen, because this happened to me too. I had a storytelling festival before I created the Yoniverse monologues. And it was created from my blood, sweat, and tears, and people loved it. And I never got paid for it, and I did it for 4 years. I loved it. I never, ever would have let go of it, but it wasn't making any money. And when I joined Sage's program, I was taking these strategies and like trying to like work backwards and fix that project, and it kept limping along. Meanwhile, the Yoniverse was taking off in front of me because it was built on this structure. And I had to force quit. I don't know what's going to happen to you, but I just want to say that when you're in this place of like this one in the past and this one in the future, it's going to be really important that you're held accountable to moving forward and claiming territory. Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. I'm looking at next fall, I'm going to take 1 day less of teaching because I have to, and dedicate it to my business. So it's a gradual progression.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what I want to help you keep your eye on the game is in your signature talks. When you're working, when you're taking that 1 day away to work on your new business, it's about speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
This keynote that you're doing, like how can that go further? How can you tape that? How can you record that? How can you collect emails when you're there? How can you offer people a free gift there? Like constantly thinking about like, how can I get in front of more people? Really key for you.
Well, I want to schedule more signature talks in the summer. So I have them already scheduled ahead.
Yes.
So I advertise ahead.
Yes, yes, exactly. So when you have that extra time, that's what you're up to. And then what are you enrolling people into once they hear from you? What's your signature program? Basically, how long is it and how much does it cost?
I think I'm going to do probably a 4-month program. I was aiming for 6, but I'm not sure if that'll fully work out. So at least a 4-month program,
okay.
$397 a month.
Ooh, that just rolled off your tongue like butter. That's awesome.
I'm getting better with this one.
Yeah, great. Beautiful. So $397 times 4.
With a down payment of $500.
Great. So you're offering a $12,000 program. So $1,500 plus a $500 deposit. Awesome. And how many people are you wanting in your program?
I think if I take 1 teaching day away, I could take on several more clients. So maybe 5 or 6.
Awesome. So if you put 5 people in your program, you'd be about $8,000 a month. You could have $8,000. Awesome. I heard it would be easy. And
it would be amazing.
Amazing. Oh, amazing. It would be amazing to add $8,000. Awesome. So this is the place where you're at, Kariana. Your signature talks leading directly to these clients. At 4 months, $397, $8,000. So those are the numbers to put on the top of your pyramid, sweetheart.
Okay.
As a vision, right? And if that's all you do, and in between on this pyramid are all the steps you need to do to make that happen, then that's what you're up to. And that's awesome. Because $8,000 extra to your bank account is going to be amazing. Yeah, great first step. I love it. Anxiety and the wilderness. Do you and Adriana live in the same area?
No.
Okay.
Opposite sides of the country.
Got it. That'd be really interesting. So one of the ways, ladies, that you can use the alumni page that you're all going to be put into is to look for other women in your area that might be great affiliate partners. Because all of you are looking to build your list. All of you are looking to get more visible. So the alumni page is a great place to reach out to people and have some conversations. So it might be a Skype conversation with someone in your area to see if they do monthly meetings, if they have a monthly newsletter. Like, get curious about how someone can help you get the word out about you and vice versa. And I can't say, like, this is one of the things I also didn't pay that close attention to my first year in ELA because I'm shy sometimes. And I didn't feel like I had anything to offer. And I'm finding out that I have a bigger reach than I ever thought. And then my email list that I've cultivated by hand, I still enter them in MailChimp by hand. I have over like 3,000 people on my list now, which are people that actually read my emails. My emails get open like 25% of the time. Like, who knew? That I have something to offer. And I didn't really take affiliate partnerships really seriously until this year. I'm like, wow, that stuff's real. You could say I'm a little bit of a resistant learner. So what I want you to do is to create your business faster. So the alumni list, great place to look for affiliate partners. Also this group, if you're on this call right now, like, who's in your area? And that's what I have to say about that. So would you ladies like one more example of a profit pyramid? Whoa.
I see heads nodding.
Are we nodding? Awesome.
Yes, we're nodding.
These are examples for you all to just lean into as we move along. Where are we? Just give me 1 second. So here's an example of a woman who was with us who was a menopause mentor, and she helped women move through menopause. So these are the 4 ways that she kept in touch with her people that were free, and it helped her build her list. So you might want to jot this down. So first, she did speaking, like all of you. She did a newsletter. She had a free gift up on her website. And then she also incorporated teleseminars or webinars. And that was her way of creating a bigger following. Her high-end program was 6 months. And she only took 2 private, she had 2 private sessions per month. And these were intensive private hormone support. And her goal was 15 clients for 6 months. Her program was $497 a month. And that brought her to a total of $75,000 of income. So now you can see, ladies, like for some of you, $75,000 for me, that would be, if I made $75,000 in 6 months, I'd be over the moon. That'd be like so amazing, right? And notice, she had 4 different ways of keeping in touch with her clients: speaking, teleseminars, newsletters, and a free gift on her website. And she was really working all of those systems. Then she decided she wanted to leverage her time, and she launched her first group coaching program after a year. She had a 6-month, it was still a 6-month program. But this time she made the group smaller. She only put 6 women in her group leverage program. And she charged them half as much because now they were in a group. They got a little bit less attention. But for those 6 women, they also got a discount on the program. So instead of $497 a month, they got the group program for $297 a month. It was still 6 months. It was half the ladies, and that was another $12,000 she added to her income. So now she had 2 programs running. Touch programs. So for some of you ladies, like, to be able to do that, you're going to need an assistant just to help you run all of that. So she hired an assistant, and that's when she launched her first VIP day. And it was a 1-day hormone makeover, right? A lot of women are in crisis for their hormones. They're busy, they have careers, they have children, and they just needed to get like one and done. So she did 1-day hormone makeovers, and the investment was $1,000. And she took 20 clients into that program. So for her intensive VIP, right, she had a very specific program. She put them all through that, and she added $19,000 to her income. When she had that rolling, that's when she did her do-it-yourself program. And because right now she's got a list, she's got people in her high-end program, she's got people in her leverage program, and she's coming to her, people are coming to her for a VIP. So she's got multiple warm funnels of people coming to her. Once all of that was happening, she's like, okay, I have enough people to sell a really low investment program. So she created a home study course, and the investment was only $100. And her goal was 50 people so that she could make an extra $5,000. Her total for all of her programs together was $112,000. She didn't do that all in 1 year. That would be really difficult. She did it step by step. And one of the reasons we're showing you this pyramid with the base at the bottom, right, is that you're really, you're not skipping steps. Because no one it's very difficult to sell an online program to 50 people if you have 100 people on your list and they've never worked with you before. They've never tasted your work. They've never seen you speak in public. So these do-it-yourself programs that seem like really something really easy, like a low investment of $100, what makes those sell is the groundwork underneath them. Yes, Adriana, you have another question.
So I understand that as a pyramid, you want to have the foundation first. So you want to have, let me find what was the foundation that you had there? I don't see it.
You had Facebook signature talks and talking to your class.
So, however, right now, the way you explained the menopausal mentor, you said that she did that first, and then second, she did the leverage program.
No, she did her high-end program. So basically her private client program. She had 15 clients.
She's a high-end program. And then after that, she did the leverage.
Yeah.
And then she did the intensive program.
Yeah.
Once she hired the assistant. And then she did the do-it-yourself program.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so it's hard I don't have my pyramid, so I need to look at this. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say that this isn't intuitive, because usually when we see a pyramid, we're either going from the bottom up or the top to the bottom, right? We're just like, it's like a ladder. And that's where this differs. Because what it's doing is it's saying like the bottom is free. And when you do a do-it-yourself program, that's the lowest investment. And then the next investment and your high-end programs at the top.
It's as far as the investment level.
Yeah.
But do you have to go in this order all the time?
Well, what we recommend is that you do it this way. You do your high-end program first so that you can start generating income. Because everything that's created in between, right, takes investment and takes time and money. Like we just talked about, when we packaged the Telesummit program, it was packaged basically on an investment that Sage did to have a Telesummit. When we packaged ECL, right, we paid for that program. We enrolled people in that program. We had that program running, and then we packaged it. So the packaging happens after you run a program. Does that make sense?
Keep going.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
So with the profit pyramid, it's really not a marketing calendar. It's not a business plan. This is just a tool for you to start to see how your levels of income are working out and how they're related to what you're offering. But we're going to keep
a cheat sheet, right?
It's like the cheat sheet. So it's not your business funnel. It's not your marketing calendar. It's like, you know, many of you are like, we've been talking on this call, like, oh, well, I had this price and then I had this price, you know, it's organic, right? And so this just helps you see, like right now, our leverage program is really strong. And you don't know which part of your profit pyramid is going to explode at any given moment. But it helps you see and have your eye on the goal of like, okay, 20 clients in my entry-level program, 5 private clients at this rate. You know, it's helping you really track like where your profit is coming from. It's a tool to help you meet that goal.
Yeah. And so for what we've been teaching you in this program, right, if we went sequentially, is to get private clients and get enough of them and then put them in a group program. And then once they're in a group program, then start seeing what the extra need is and then create a VIP. And then from that, right? So that's sequentially where you're at. We have a couple more questions, so I just want to move on with that. Awesome, great question. Thank you, Adriana. Mwah. Robin, what's your question? We have about 15 minutes, so if you can just jump into the heart of your question, that'd be awesome.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I just wanted to say that was super helpful, and thank Adriana for clarifying, because it really is like I made numbers on mine, so it's the order of implementation is different than what the values are, and this has been super clarifying. So that's all. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Clarification feels good. Hi, Maria.
Hi. So this is amazing. I filled mine in, but so I just want to, so really you're creating just the structure of the pyramid, because the bottom is the free, the top is the first step. So now you've got the outline, and then we're working down from the top.
Right. Yep. And what Shannon was saying is exactly right. You're going from what's free, and then as you grow up the ladder, it's like a money pyramid. I think that's why they call it a profit pyramid, because you're looking at where your profit's coming from. And obviously on the ground level, there's no profit by leading generously and giving away free. There's no profit, but you want to move up. Exactly.
Right. And that's a strong foundation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. The other thing is I looked at sort of my why of like, you know, what my big why is, but also how much I need to make. And that was really helpful to plugging in. So is that something that, you know, that if we look
Exactly. Because where your number is coming from.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. All filled out.
And what we want you to do, awesome. Shannon's going to post on the Facebook page, Sage's profit pyramid as an example, right? Because she just scratched it out and you'll see it by hand, right? She can put that up as an example. And what we'd love for you ladies to do is if you finish yours before the call's over, like Maria, just take a picture with your phone and post it up on Facebook. Because what we'd love for you all to do is have a rough draft and then give you feedback on our next call, right? So I did a little bit with Adriana. I did a little bit with Kariana. Hey, they rhyme. Adriana is as beautiful as Kariana. Yes, I've been hanging out with the 7-year-old, like I said. So
that's what happens. You start singing songs.
Oh, and rhyming all the time. Like my brain is exploding. So what we'd love for you to see is your profit pyramids posted on Facebook, because Sage and I are wrapping up our grad call next week with some reflection on your profit pyramids. Next week will be our last call for this season. And we're going to do something special, including giving you some reflection.
Hold on. I think I want to amend that and say that I think next week we put in, I'm checking, because seriously, I don't know how I'm on this call right now. None of my other pages are working. But I think next week is our mastermind, and then the following week is our grad. We really wanted to have the grad as our last touch point.
Thank you. So next week we'll be working on these profit pyramids and then masterminding. And like Shannon said, Karen, what you got?
So I just want to, I think this is really helpful because I'm at the baby end of still trying to get my first paying clients. What I'm hearing is that as I'm working with them, always having in the back of my mind, okay, what am I learning that will need to be a VIP day? What can I break out and rock separately? So I guess having this idea, this plan for the future keeps me thinking about what am I learning today? What am I getting that will become that later? Is that the idea here?
That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Totally. It helps you zero in on your vision.
Yeah. Because Karen, what you're focusing on is filling your private practice.
And fulfilling for my first set of clients.
Yeah. And fulfilling. Exactly.
I love how you pulled that out.
So this idea, so for when I work with my private clients to help them lose weight, I'm not advocating a specific diet. But yet I can envision some of them saying, no, I really want you to tell me how to eat.
Yeah.
So maybe that breakout day would be all specifically for those who really want me to give them a nutrition and diet plan.
Yeah, Karen, especially as you fill your private practice, if that's what you keep hearing over and over, is like, I wish someone would just tell me what to cook, right? Then that's your light bulb. Well, that'd be a great VIP day, right? We're going to cook. If you keep hearing people say, like, because you live in a snowy place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you keep hearing in spring, like people are like, I just need to cleanse. I just need to change my diet and do some kind of cleanse, but I don't know, cleanses really scare me, right? If you hear that over and over, maybe your VIP is how to do an effective cleanse without blowing out, right? That's why a VIP comes from your clients, as opposed to you trying to just give them more, right? So keep yourself, and you can even keep that place on your profit pyramid open for ideas, right? See what comes up. Beautiful.
But it's something more. It's not just a mini version of what I'm doing.
No, exactly.
Perfect.
Thank you. You've been paying attention.
Awesome. Yeah. Glad I got it right.
Good recap.
Big kiss for you. So we really have 2 more calls. Is that really true? Yeah.
I just want to speak a word to that. Like, this is a time of year I feel a lot of sadness. I mean, even I felt it getting on the call today and seeing all of your faces, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then I was looking at your names on my side list, my participant list on Zoom, and I just, there's a letting go that's happening here. And I just want to speak a word to that, because whether you're staying, whatever it is, like, we're really closing up a really beautiful year together. It's a sacred time.
I feel a lot like a midwife at this point. And I'm like, oh, the babies are going out into the world. I'm curious, how many of you so far have given at least one signature talk? Yeah. Woo-hoo. Congratulations on 4. I just want to say how big a success that is. Being a public speaker myself and having anxiety around speaking, like, what a big deal that is. And I also noticed that none of you are dead. It didn't kill any one of you. So when that excuse comes up again, you can just tell yourself, I'm not dead yet, and keep going. I'm curious, how many of you have gotten a paying client or a beta client this year? Wow, awesome. Awesome. And I'm curious, how many of you still have goals that you haven't yet attained yet? Something that you still want to do. Yeah. Look, you're not dead yet. This is such a good sign. Opening a business isn't lethal. I want you all to know in particular that the world really does need us. I mean, as I travel through different places on this last week, I'm just seeing how many people are really asleep. They really just want to be comfortable. And I'm seeing that there's a price that people are paying for their comfort. Whether it's they're asleep to their health or they're asleep to the relationships with their families, they're just not totally awake. And that's part of what our job is to wake people up to what's possible. And each and every one of you said yes to something impossible almost a year ago, which was joining a $9,000 program and investing a year of your time and clearing 2 hours a week or more to learn things that seemed really daunting. And you woke yourselves up in a particular way. And I just want to say how extraordinary that is, and how extraordinary you are that you're playing a place in a time on the planet where many things are awakening for very good reason. We don't live on a planet with unlimited resources. We just don't. And one of the untapped resources of our times is our own humanity and our own creativity. And that's what you ladies are a part of. And I just want to say that the dollar amount that you've earned doesn't equate to how much you've touched people's lives. It does not equate. Each and every one of you that have sat one-on-one with a client has woken someone up to something inside of themselves. Even if it was one session, and even if it was a beta client, someone is awakening. And of the 7 billion people on the planet, we need a lot more awakening to happen before we can shift the quality of our life here. So what you've started individually and collectively has had a huge impact on my life, and a huge impact on Shannon's life, and a huge impact on Sage and Claire's life. And we all believe in you no matter what happens next. But what we really want you to know is that we're here for you. These next 2 calls, we're still here for you. We're still on the Facebook page. Because you're not dead and your business isn't done yet. And if you need more support, now is the time. No shame if you haven't met all of your financial goals yet. No shame if you haven't filled your private practice yet. No shame. No shame at all. I didn't get my first paying client until 6 months after ELA closed. And I didn't give up, and partially I didn't give up because I was so strapped for cash. I was living under the poverty level, and that's why I was so strapped. So don't let the ideas that you haven't made enough money or you're not rolling in dough right now keep you from asking for support. Okay? We're still here for you. And one of the ways you can serve yourself is to show up to that profit pyramid, because that's the task that's at hand. Envision for yourself a future that you're going to commit to. How many clients? How many signature talks? How can you really commit to that? And between now and next week, what's the one thing that you can do to build your list? To reach out and get in front of people and say, hey, I'm in business. I'm here to wake people up. We need healthier, happier, more innovative people on the planet. And that's what I do. That's really magnetizing. It's really magnetizing. When you're on purpose, even if you're not making money, but
Oh, there you are. You paused, Serena.
Oh, really?
There's a little bit of tech gremlins in the space today. I'm like really surprised I'm still on here.
We got some waves. So before we end, I just want to send out a blessing to the rest of the women in ELA, the women who aren't on the call here, who are stuck for some reason or having health challenges or just bogged down by life. I just want to send them all a big blessing from us, like our blood, sweat, and tears right here to them too. Because we have no idea when they're going to get unstuck, when they're going to jump back in the game. And if you have a buddy who's not on this call and you have the bandwidth to reach out to her and let her know that we have 2 more calls, like, I just want to encourage you all to do that. It's just to reach out to those who aren't here. And in particular, one of our sisters, Beth Russell, right? Beth Russell's having some really serious health challenges that's actually stopping her from moving forward on her business at this point. If you have any bandwidth and want to reach out to Beth and send her some love, that stuff is real. Sending prayers, long distance, reaching out to people who aren't well is really impactful. So if you have the bandwidth, we miss her. We miss her. She had such momentum right before she had her health crisis. I always like to think about other people at this point, and it makes my struggle worth it, right? Yeah. And it worked for Arlene. We sent Arlene tons of love while she was relocating her hip injury, and she's back on with us. So blessed be to that. And she even made it out to the ELA retreat because we were really pulling for her. So, and Ida, Maria, you're here with us today. And I know that you're working through some stuff that you're going to come through. And I see you here shining. So really, really appreciate you here. As women, it's really important to take care of our bodies, to do the long game. So with so much love, Shannon and I are sending you off. Please post on the Facebook page when you get off or this week, and we will be back here next week with our mastermind call. Please unmute your lines with a big wahoo. We're going to send you all away. Big, big fat blessings. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Plans are waiting for you, ladies. Not just someone, but someone like you.
Thank you, Serena.
Thank you.
Thank you, Serena and Shannon and everybody. Thank you, everyone.
Shannon.
I'm going to go down a water slide. I love you, ladies.
Enjoy.
Cool.
Fun. Bye-bye.